So,
Can I read you this quote?
Sure.
That's it's in the paper today. It's in the Sun newspaper, and I have to say that Endemol have told us that it's, as far as they're concerned, it's not true. But they have been handed a document. The police are investigating. It says there's a song which is not very nice, but I will tell you what it says. This house used to be happy until that effing, and it's thought that the word there was packy, and that Jade was in the room at the time when that was said. That, to anybody, I would have thought in this country, whether they are Indian or any other culture, would be considered to be racist.
That, according to me, is lack of education. See, that says more for them than for me. And we still don't know if that's true. So I'd like to reserve my comment on that one. But
if it is true,
you know, honestly, it's over and it's done with for me. And I truly feel they have had to face so much after they've come out that they've learnt their lesson.
That may be, and it may be a reality television program, but it is on the television and there are a lot of people watching it. And if people don't stand up for what they believe in afterwards and say, no, that's not acceptable, you cannot talk to me like that, you cannot treat me like that, then it becomes almost acceptable.
No, I never endorsed that. I think I took my stand and I stood my ground, but in my own way. And I did it my way. And I would say the same to everybody out there, all those people who have ever been put through any kind of racist behavior, if they've ever been put through any kind of racist behavior, any kind of bullying, they need to stand up for themselves. And you just need to do it in a way that's dignified. You don't have to rant and scream and, you know, use abusive language and bring down your dignity and your class. And that's what I endorse. And me pulling them down is very easy. I don't want to do that because it brings down my class.
If it wasn't, you're saying it wasn't racism, that's what you're saying.
That's not exact. You know, I don't want to harp on the word racism because it is a very, very sensitive issue. And I think people all over the world have been very irked about it. And so much has happened. I mean, it's scary when I heard, you know, people burnt effigies of the Big
Jade.
Brother.
The executives in India.
Yeah, exactly, in India. So it's scary. There's nothing more important to me than life. Big Brother was just a part of my life. And I do appreciate, I'm humbled, I'm honored by the solidarity shown to me by Asians all over the world, by, you know, by the British audiences. I'm choked sometimes at the thought of it, and I'm extremely grateful, but I really want this to stop.
I understand that, Shilpa, I really do, and I know that it's been a very traumatic time for you since you came out of the house, dealing with exactly what happened and the fallout of it all around the world. But those are the very people who are looking up to you. 40,000 people complained about what happened. Almost all of them thought that it was racism. There will be young Indian girls having watched you and thinking, I have gone through that day in, day out in the playground. And thank goodness she can come out and say, it's unacceptable, we will not be treated like this as a race, I am standing up for my people, this is what I believe in. Do you not feel that you could just take that step and say that? Or do you feel that you've said everything you need to?
I don't need to say it. I think I've made my point. And I think people have understood my point. And the Indians that I have met, not just the Indians, even the British girls, the women, it's not just restricted to women. I mean, people in general that I've met here. I haven't gone back to India, but the people that I've met here, the one thing that they've constantly said to me was that I've handled it so well and I did it with dignity, and that they're all so proud of me. I feel fantastic when you know, when a 20-year-old comes to me. Doesn't matter if she's Asian or British. I've had girls come to me and say that, you know, that's the way we're going to deal with it. You know, so that is a huge compliment. So why would I want it any other way? So I think I've made my point. And my mom always says it's important to be gracious, it's important to be forgiving in life, and I'm just following that.
If you don't want to say that it was racism, and I've asked you many times, and you've chosen not.
Oh, you've tried.
I've tried, yeah, because not because I'm trying to pin you down, but because I'm trying to give you the opportunity. If you want to say it was racism, now is the forum to say it. You feel that you can't say that. Can you accept that it was bullying?
Of course, it was bullying. I've never denied that. I've never denied that it was bullying. Like I said, the bullying stemmed out of insecurity, stepped out of jealousy. I've said that time and over again. See, for me, the word racism it just doesn't exist in my dictionary. I've said this, innumerable number of times. So it doesn't exist, and I believe that it shouldn't exist in the world.
But it does.
It does, and something needs to be done about it. And that's the best thing that's come out of this reality show.
What?
That people have suddenly woken up and people want to take a stand about it. And I'm glad that the British audiences are supporting it. It's fantastic. It's really fantastic to see that that a reality show can suddenly be an awakening for people all around the world. And that's, my job's done. It's not just about racism, it's about culture. I think Britain has such culture. It's so rich in culture, and it wasn't just about being Indian. Like I don't know, I don't know about that quote. It sounded great, but it really wasn't about brown or white, really. It was about right and wrong. And I'm glad that people voted for right.
Do you think you were without guilt in the arguments?
Without guilt? Yes. I had nothing to feel guilty about. And that's the reason I didn't even hold a grudge against them. Not for a single moment. Yes, there were times when I'd feel left out, and there were times when I felt that I was being singled out. But I just thought it was being silly. I thought they were just... I thought it was only about the game. It was about making sure that, they don't get evicted. Jo really didn't care about it. She really didn't want to stay in. She did everything in the book to get herself out. She and Dirk did everything to get out. But Jade and Daniel were there. I think they were really aware about wanting to be there till the end. And maybe that's how it just got so bad.
As far as Jade was concerned, you did say that she needed elocution lessons. Easy
I
for
never
me to
said
say.
that.
Did
I
we
said
not hear you
etiquette
say
classes.
You said what?
Etiquette classes.
Etiquette classes.
Yes.
That what you said? Okay.
That's the weird thing. It was. Why would I ever say elocution? She needed etiquette classes, which meant that she really needed to get some brushing up on her manners.
Did you feel her lack of intellect was more problematic than her beliefs?
Her lack of, pardon me?
Intellect.
Yes. See, I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know how much of. 1 minute. Let's do this again.
Of course, I'll ask you the question again. Did you feel that her lack of intellect was more problematic than her beliefs?
I don't even know what her beliefs were. You didn't have to be a rocket scientist to know that she wasn't very intelligent when she asked the question about Eskimos. I'm sorry, but I was in shock when she came out and she very proudly told us that was her question. Jamil and I were like, what was that? Eskimos freezing into ice cubes? What was that?